And Pat Fitzgerald, member.
Rick Emmelheinz, member.
Tiana Duncan, member.
Elizabeth?
You're muted,
Mike,
Elizabeth.
Okay,
Elizabeth Shaw, alternate.
thank you. Michael Chisholm, chair. Did we get everybody? Are we good?
Yes, yep.
All right, Mel, can you maybe get the ball rolling? Just give everybody a brief summary of what we need to do, what kind of decision we have to make tonight, and I'd like to focus on maybe getting that done as soon as possible. That way, if we want to visit or talk or cover other things, we can. But I think we have one decision item.
Yeah, you guys only have one thing to discuss tonight, and that is the Sustainability Subcommittee met to do some recommendations for the upcoming Englewood Magazine, which their submission deadline is the 29th. So I'm actually going to pass it to Patrick. He's on the subcommittee and he's going to go over their recommendations and everything. But what is asked of you all is if you all agree with the recommendations that they're recommending to be submitted for the magazine, you all have to vote if you agree, and if you don't agree, then that's totally fine. It's just they can't move forward unless they get a consensus and a vote from the commission that it's okay.
Okay. So I guess we turn it over to Patrick. And Patrick, what can you tell us?
Sounds good. I don't know so we took notes last night. Mel, I don't know if Logan, if this was in a Google Doc or just in an email. But either way, I'll share my screen just so we can see it. All right, cool. So apologies, it's in email form here, but so yeah, essentially we are just thinking up ideas to put in the next newsletter. Obviously, we got a big 2-page spread the first time around, so I think we're down to our smaller half-page, what we are typically going to be having this next time around. So that's where we thought of kind of introducing this kind of tier system of ideas to hand off to the comms team, just because they really ran with it the first time and put in all this fantastic material and made it look really beautiful. So we're essentially starting off with the main point we want to kind of communicate to the community, which is native plants education. So essentially just a quick blurb on why native plants and pointing them towards the Englewood Engaged page and turf replacement grants. So kind of giving spring related information. And then if there's additional room, we figured to tag onto that a composting update, since that goes along with the native plants. So depending on room, giving some public education and highlighting, Tracy pointed out this COCO program, Colorado Composting Ambassador Pilot Program. She's one of the ambassadors. So she said she might write up a little blurb about that. But that's kind of our main topic is native plants and composting and combining those together. And then if there's additional room in the half page, I'd be surprised, but we'll see what the comms team can come up with. A additional topic could be the Audubon Challenge. I think that made the original newsletter, our first one. So that'll just be a quick follow-up, a QR code, just to include something kind of fun or engaging kids or have the family do it. So if there's room for that, and then last one, really squeezing it in, just kind of this idea of highlighting a sustainability win. I think Mike, you had performed this, kind of saying that your street was dark and they went through and installed solar lighting throughout the area. So just kind
of Rick is the leader of the charge. Rick, you want to give a quickie story on what was behind all that?
I'll give a 30-second blurb. We had an incident happen a couple of years ago in the park, which the community was concerned about, particularly right around the park. because it was attributed somewhat to the limited visibility of that park in terms of being able to see around stuff, and that it seemed like a good place to do something like that because you wouldn't be seen. And it's true. And that initiated some meetings with the community, with the city. City took on a number of recommendations that we made, and one of them specifically to improve the lighting. Very long period later, the city was able to secure and begin the installation of, I believe, about 6 solar-powered street lights that hang over the main walkway on Bellevue. So the first one's already in place, and the other ones are coming as weather permits. But it should illuminate the whole walk of Bellevue very clearly, and they're dark sky certified, so everything goes down. You can hardly even see that they're on from the street, which is kind of cool. It's been a good project, and looking forward to it being done. Thank you.
Fantastic. So yeah, so that would be, if we have room, just highlighting the success story of, kind of whole city communication and collaboration on a project and resulting in a win. So yeah, essentially those are our general topics that we've been submitting to comms. So does anyone have any feedback or want to rearrange any of these things, have additional ideas? Floor is open.
I think it's pretty clear. I like it.
Fantastic.
I take it there's no negative feedback or concerns about these recommendations.
Yeah, no negative. I like that the street lights are dark sky too. That's really cool. And if that tier does get put in, it'd be cool to say something about why that's a good thing, and that they're solar and that's great, and that they're dark sky and that's great. And why it matters.
Do we want to flip-flop 2 and 3? Do we want to have if there's room, put the solar lighting in as opposed to the reminder of the Audubon challenge? Open to feedback on that.
I love it because it represents an intersection of multiple citizen input and department input. I mean, Rick's on sustainability now, but he wasn't when he was leading the charge on trying to get action. So it's kind of cool that there's a connection there. Adrian, working for the city, I think, Rick, correct me, but Adrian went for the off-grid solar solution, didn't he?
Yeah, this, I want to be careful because A, I won't take credit for it, and B, it's not something that was initiated necessarily outside of the city. Adrian, one of the reasons why he went that way is because the challenge of working with Excel is enormous. And we wanted to try to get Excel to replace the sodium lights with some LED lights. And it was going to be way too hard to do that. So I think that the workaround that Adrian took was, hey, listen, we can knock out a number of things here by A, taking control of it ourselves, and B, working towards something which is cutting edge in terms of technology. So I credit Adrian with this. I agree.
Well, I just think it's a good story. A lot of people should be commended. And I've always said there's a lot of stuff going on in Englewood people don't even know about. And I think part of what we ought to do is spread the word. But anyways, I guess it's up to the city editorial staff or the people putting that magazine together, right? I mean, they're gonna decide from your recommendations what they actually put in print, which I'm okay with that. I mean, that's their job.
I'll just say, for all we know, this could already be submitted by the Parks Department for a story in the magazine. Since I'm not, I don't know if they did or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Okay. Well, in the interest of time, could we entertain a motion to approve the recommendations?
Yes.
Awfully quiet out there. I motion to approve.
Thanks, Rick.
I do as well.
And Tina's the second. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, say nay. Okay, I'd say the ayes have it. So Patrick and company, good work. Thank you for putting the time and energy into it. I really am excited about the fact that we are going to have a half page on a quarterly basis. And I really think it's going to hold us accountable, and it's also going to keep us tuned into the community, and it'll help us focus what it is we're trying to accomplish. The universe of great ideas is quite large. So I'm just pleased as can be that you guys took the initiative and got this thing going. Mel, is that enough to give you a decision or to make us legal to move this ball down the road?
Yeah, you all just voted. You're good. That's all you guys gotta do.
So now if we just want to visit, we can spend the next hour just chit-chatting. We can gossip or do whatever we want to do now. But I think this is a good thing. Rick, you look like you're trying to say something. I cut you off.
Well, I was going to say, and I'll speak for another commission right now, that honestly, sustainability is the envy of a lot of commissions in terms of very in-demand space in the quarterly. So enjoy it and utilize it wisely, because it is a real gift. There's a lot of commissions out there would be doing a lot of talking if they had the space in their quarterlies too. So, yep.
And just a comment on a good point, Rick. There's nothing preventing us from sharing space with other commissions. So, for example, there are intersects. Code enforcement gets involved in weed abatement in the spring. Well, there's kind of a sustainability touch to that in terms of pollinator gardens and what's a weed and what are we allowed to do. I don't think there's anything preventing us from sharing space with other commissions if we chose to, because some of these things have different labels for different reasons. So I'm liking the fact that we've got a half page. And I guess it's up for us to decide what we say and how we use it. And I'm certainly not opposed to helping out other commissions and committees if we can give them a sentence or a paragraph here or there. There's no harm doing that, because there are overlaps in what these different groups are struggling with. So anybody else have thoughts, suggestions, things they want to talk about? I hear nothing. I hear crickets. Well, if everybody's okay with it, I would go ahead and adjourn this meeting and thank everybody for taking the time and energy for tuning in. This isn't a bad habit. Maybe in the future we might be able to do some of this just to expedite some of our own deadlines and decision making. And Mel, thank you for your guidance and keeping us on track, so to speak, with rules and regulations.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do so.
Okay. Well, thanks, everybody. I'm going to go eat my dinner and try to catch the evening news. So
That's good.
Have a good evening.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mike.
Bye-bye.